selecting the integration runtime, now it is asking for the server name. So I believe the server name for this database that I'm using is the localhost. So we can just check the name of the server name from the SQL Server Management Studio. We can get the server name from the connect option over here. So as you can see here, the server name is the localhost. And what we can do is we can also copy the database name. So I'm just going to right click the database and then go to the rename. So if you click on this, copy the database name. So what I can do now is I'm just going to the link service tab and I'm just going to paste the database name over there. So after giving the database name, now we have to give the credentials. So I think the first step is the selecting the authentication type. There is two things. One is SQL and Windows. We are going with the SQL, and we need to give the username and password to authenticate. So I believe in the last video we have stored the username and password in the key vault, but here the username can be given directly, which is kind of safe to do as well. So the username is Mr. K, and I'm not going to give the password directly over here. So instead I'm just going to use the key vault to get the password from. So I'm just going to click on this Azure Key Vault. So for that, to get the secrets from the Key Vault, we need to create a new link service connection for the Key Vault as well. There is an option to create a link service connection for Azure Key Vault. So I'm just going to click on that tab to create a new one. So I'm just going to click on that plus new button over there. And if you click on that, it will take you to the link service page for creating the Azure Key Vault. Let's first select the name of the subscription, which is the Azure subscription one. And after selecting the Azure subscription, it is asking for the Azure Key Vault name. As you can see here, I have only one key vault in the subscription. So if I just go to the resource group that we are using, as you can see here, we have the key vault name which matches exactly with the subscription one. So I'm just going to select the Azure key vault name. Okay, so now let's move to the next part, which is specifying the authentication method. We have two options over here. One is system assigned and the other one is user assigned managed identity. So I'm just going to go with the system assigned managed identity. So let's first discuss what is this system assigned managed identity is. So when you create any resource in Azure, so you get a default ID with it. As you can see here, for this Azure Data Factory, you have a managed identity object ID in the page itself. So when you use this managed identity to connect to this Azure Key Vault, so it will use this ID to actually authenticate it. So I'm just going to click on this test connection to test the connection. And as you can see here, the test connection is successful. So which means that it is using this object ID to connect to the Azure Key Vault. Okay, so now we have given all the information to actually create this link service for Azure Key Vault. So since that connection is successful, you can just go ahead and click on this create button to actually create the link service. And as you can see here, we have created the link service connection for the Azure Key Vault. And now you have an option called a secret name. As you can see here, it is failing to load the secret name. So what this means is, in the Azure Key Vault, if you remember in the last video, we have added two secrets. One is username and the password. So we are just given the username directly in the Key Vault and we are just going to read the password from there, right? So it couldn't load the secret name, and what happens is, like, if you click on this more option over here, you can see an information called it is forbidden to load the secret. So what this means is, this Azure Data Factory can now connect to the Azure Key Vault successfully, but it doesn't have a reader permission to read the secret. So to give this required access to Azure Data Factory to read the secrets from the Key Vault, we need to configure additional things in the Azure Key Vault.